Welcome to Gran Turismo 7, and today we're gonna do a not just one but two cars as fun that I never do. I do it many times as well. For Honda fanboys and girls, this is a video you should watch. I know you guys, you boys, fanboys and girls, have seen the today's Hondas, but what are the older one? The older one. And we're gonna talking about later. We actually, yeah, I bought it yesterday. On the what's it called? I bought it this car yesterday. What's on the recording. That's why I need it. So that's why I need this. This is what I'm gonna show you now. This little Honda. If you don't know what behind the story of how this car is. This is the Honda S800. This is what I reviewed on the previous Gran Turismo, which is a GT Sports already. If you want, I know people are gonna think anyone why I buy one of these things, because unfortunately for you guys it's sold out already. But this car will come soon again for the used car as well. So if you don't know about this one, it's the S600. It's not S600, sorry. I'm really sorry about it. The S800. This is the S800 by Honda. This is a Soichiro Honda's best looking sports car of all time, made by Honda. It's 800cc. It's 800. It's 791cc engine, 4-cylinder. 68 horsepower, 65 newton meters of torque. Or this particular car is pretty much smaller than we thought. 720 kilos of weight. Not many people know. Oh, there's a 1960 Honda is a car. Built this one here, the S600. Then we evolved it, became the S800. Yeah, the 800cc. This particular one is front engine rear wheel drive as well, and also they say double over DOHC 4-cylinder engine. Because of this one here is a best looking car, the best looking sports car I've ever seen in my life. It's at 69 horsepower. It costs it's about under 50 grand when you can get it in this game, and I already bought it. Well, this clip it will show you now. So this car came from 1965, and one of the is a first Japanese car maker who compete in the Formula 1 history back in the mid 60s. This is the one I tried to say. Well, actually, I want to review when bought it. This is a Honda RA272, the one of the racing car from 1965. And one thing is the first Formula 1 car from Japan which competed on the Formula 1 World Championship. Well, in the Formula 1 season, I should say. This is the one of them. This car is a 1.5 liter V12 engine. And yeah, the 1.5 liter V12 engine, 228 horsepower, and 141 newton meters of torque. And the one thing is nearly half a ton. Well, 498 kilos. I say one of the most iconic cars in Honda's history is a Formula 1 machine, the Honda RA272. The Honda was the first Japanese automaker to compete in F1 racing. Back in the day, this one is pretty much weapons on the racing. Well, weaponal. In 1965, this car and Honda its first F1 win and the Mexican Grand Prix. Yeah, Mexican Grand Prix in Mexico. Well, in the final round of the season. Ooh, that was good. With an aluminium monocoque chassis up front and it's a space frame towards in the back. I say back in the rear. It was powered by a horizontal 1.5 liter V12 engine and mounted a midship, which is an engine mid-engine rear wheel drive. Say back in the The RA272 was developed and driven by Richie Ginter, an American racer in 1960. Honda has since earned many victories as the engine supplier, and it's began with the RA272. This one is pretty much a legend. Well, actually, this car the same age as my parents. This one's 58 years old. Despite the S600 is a 57. No joking. And one thing is, it costs this car. It's $2.5 million. $2.5 million. What you got to do to buy another Formula car? Who knows? With $2.5 million, it costs a price. You mean this is a thing. And one thing is, ooh, that's pretty cool. I should say this car is the most best looking F1 car. Glad this thing is in update now. So because these cars from Japan, we gotta drive it in Japan. Well, this one I gotta do the oval way. The oval way, and another one, the F1 car, I gotta do the full circuit race. So let's start it anyway. to be fair, this the RA272, it's a little bit smaller than the S600. I did notice it in this car. Pretty much small it was. It's smaller than the today's Formula One car. As you know, Formula One car today it has a traction control, ABS, that kind of thing, and drive DRS stuff, and many more as well. Back in the 60s, DRS, the traction control system, and also ABS wasn't invented yet. Back in the 60s. Back in the 60s, ABS. Back in 60s, ABS, DRS, also traction control wasn't invented yet. Now, I use the phrase from the Stephen Heath jokes. Actually, I use it many times back some on the real life as well. Back in the 60s, the driving aids and also ABS wasn't invented that time yet. Wasn't invented yet. But this particular RA272, it's pretty much, the handle's pretty cool. I gotta say, it's pretty much a Formula One back in the day, and rev about 12k. Well, 12k is pretty much higher than usual. Today's Formula One turbocharged cars is 12k as well, 12.5k or 15k as well. The 800, the S800, as you know, this is pretty much the most iconic sports car, which is a affordable sports car. So this one 4-speed. The F1 car I drove is 6-speed gearbox. This particular this particular one is one of the before the S2000, before NSX, before Integra Type R, before Civic Type R, yeah, the NSX and the S2000. This is the granddaddy of the sports car back in the day. And also one thing, Soichiro Honda make this car as well. Wow, that if Honda, Soichiro Honda still around, he will for the Honda today. Well, I should say they also one of the coolest cars as well. Before the Honda Civic as well came out back in the 70s, this also about the earlier the fuel crisis era. One of them. Actually, this is one of the coolest one, and it's small and also quite humble. I should say it's pretty much cute as well. That's it for the video, guys. If you want to see more Gran Turismo Sport, I say Gran Turismo Sport, Gran Turismo 7 video, be sure to smash your like, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also Hoyo Lab. The link in the description box below. And see you guys soon. Assalamualaikum and goodbye. And one thing is, even though this car is a old Honda, but this car deserves a ton of credit for today's standard. Like I said, respect the old car as well. Like I want to say, respect the old car as well. See you guys soon. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.